Y'all, okay, I have to do my little intro. Let me. Hey, y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Specifically, if you are returning from my last two videos right before this one, I don't know what it is, y'all. It's like I procrastinate to put out the video. Then once I put it out, y'all just give me so much energy. So much energy. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk to y'all about the shows. I cannot. Okay. And then I was just like dancing to the intro. And like the intro, the bum 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 bum. I feel like it's a global like siren. Like, come on, y'all. Join the video. It's time to talk. The boom, 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 boom. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. But that's just the way I feel, okay? So, hey, y'all who are returning, y'all who are already in the chat. Today, y'all, we are going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac Reunion Part 4. And I had to say it like that because y'all know damn well this did not take 4 parts to discuss. Y'all played with our time, okay? Part 4 was definitely the best part. I don't think that it could have been better. I'm not saying that it was the greatest reunion, but for what we had in a complete season, I would have to say part 4 was the best part. So while we're here, y'all know what I like to do. What y'all think about this thumbnail, though? Y'all tell me what y'all think about the thumbnail. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about the reunion. How would you rate it? Were you feeling it? Did you like Necey as a host? Because y'all, I was one of an unpopular opinion. I was excited for Necey to come on the show. Not because, oh, it's Nicki Minaj, but I felt like Necey knew she had an assignment. Necey came, she did her assignment. She did well. But I wasn't excited because I knew that the girls was going to be on some fake cute shit. Low key, they were. Candiace, baby girl. What did I title this video, y'all? I definitely said something about Candiace. Take your clown mask off. Get rid of the clown mask. Candiace, for whatever reason, and y'all know I like her. I do like her. But take your damn clown mask off for Gizelle. You keep commenting and overstepping in moments when you shouldn't. Even when the questions are in defense of you. The questions are in defense of you, Candiace. Why do you keep talking out of turn? Let these girls get lit up. I don't understand. Okay. So while y'all are looking at this thumbnail, the tweet says Candee girl husband really need to sit his ass down, child. And she's saying that because later in the reunion, y'all, Chris gets upset because of the way that Necey questioned his wife. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give y'all my point of view. Kenya, Alicia, Princess, Brittany says she loves the thumbnail. She felt the same way as me. They weren't going to be real with Necey, and they probably scared of the Barbs. Ooh, everybody's scared of the Barbs. You're right. And Chantel says she did not like Necey as a host, not because of Necey, but because the girls didn't answer any of her questions. They all gave fake answers. Chantel, we on the same page. I feel like Necey was a good host. I feel like the girls just weren't ready. So let's go ahead and hop into this review, y'all. Part 4 of Real Housewives of Potomac. We start out with the questions for Ashley. Ashley says that her explanation for coming to the house and lugging her milk and starting that shit and going home was that she stands firm in saying things to people's face that she said behind their back. Y'all, I have to say that's true. I tell y'all all the time, I have a love-hate relationship with Ashley Darby. Love Ashley as an individual. I feel like Ashley is a very fun housewife. She's messy boots. Hate Ashley as a wife. Michael Darby is trouble. Michael Darby disgusts me. Michael Darby has the complexion for protection, and she gonna stand beside him in that coin. She's gonna stand beside him in that coin. But as far as Ashley as a housewife, I think that oftentimes she talks behind people's back, and then she often stirs it up by bringing stuff to their face, and it's fun to see. No lie. As a viewer, it's fun to see regardless of how messy she is. Meanwhile, you have people like Gizelle who are puppet masters, and they allow other messy people to handle their business for them. I enjoy to see it come straight from the messenger's mouth. So some people disagree with that, right? And Southern lady, girl, you killed me. She said the Barbs need to worry about Nikki's husband. Facts, okay? I was thinking at this whole reunion. I really was, but whatever. So anyway, they said that they didn't think Wendy, when I say they, Wendy didn't think that Ashley approached her about Eddie to be malicious. However, she did think that Gizelle was being malicious. You know, Ashley knew that she was going to be starting shit. I still feel like there was a little bit of malicious intent when it came from Ashley. However, the loaded gun came from Gizelle. So I definitely understood that you couldn't give all the smoke to Ashley when Ashley was simply repeating what Gizelle told her for the sake of being messy. So it's like Karen said, you got to go cut the head off the snake. I think it was Karen, maybe it was Monique. Cut the head off the snake. Don't waste your time with all these little people in between. Keisha, Kenya, hey. Don't waste your time with all these little people in between. So Candiace, she jumps in. This is whenever she interjects. And this is when I'm like, somebody go grab the clown mask. Somebody go grab the clown mask for Candee Girl, because this is some clown shit for real. Nicki Minaj says to Ashley, well, why did you come here? Did you come there to start drama? Blah, blah, blah. You should have been at home with your child. And that's when Candiace says, but we got work, Nicki. But we got work. And that's when Nikki says, really, Candee Girl? Let me direct my questions to Ashley. Thank you very much. Because Candiace, weren't you the one who lit her up in the kitchen? Weren't you the one that cussed her out about lugging her milk down there, messing up your trip and everything else? And finally, when somebody can question her about it, you feel the need to stand in the way of fire. Not after you done folded up that damn tissue and cried about how she wrote a statement against you. Make it make sense, Candiace. Candiace, you know that these girls don't give two shits about you. You know, which is why it's hard for me as a viewer to stand here week after week and defend you when these girls obviously show microaggressions towards you and everything else, only for you to turn around and try to back them. I can't do that. Candiace sees self-interest. She sees that her best self-interest is to basically just get along with the green-eyed bandits. And that's what really irritates me, Candiace, because there's moments where what you say makes perfect sense. And I'm like, yeah, I'm riding with Candiace on this, even though you can do less. But then you turn around and you do this. It don't make sense. So next, y'all, we move on from talking about Ashley to Nicki Minaj questioning Robin. She says, you know, this season, I feel like I seen a little bit more sexual energy between you and Juan. Where? Y'all tell me where. Where did Nikki see sexual energy between Robin and Juan? Okay. I think that Nikki formulated the questions in a way to make the girls feel good. And then it was like, blah, light their ass up. So I feel like that was just her way of trying to make Robin feel good. And Robin says, yeah, there was, you know, the kids were at home doing Zoom class. So we had to get a little bit more creative with our sex life. Sure. Okay. So then she calls her out about how she's a little bit codependent on Gizelle. Like I told y'all, she starts out nice and then blah. She says, why was it that we saw a scene of you saying, are we mad at Ashley? Hey, California cutie. Hey, y'all. She said, are we mad at Ashley? And I remember that. I really think I said something about that. And Robin's excuse was, well, no, I didn't mean it as like, I don't need another woman to tell me if I'm mad at Ashley. What I meant was the entire group mad at Ashley? Girl, okay. We could give you benefit of the doubt and act like just this one time you weren't waiting on direction from Gizelle. But when you think about the history of Robin and Gizelle and who they decide to start messing with and how they operate, it's often, are we mad at Monique? Are we mad at Karen? Are we mad at Ashley? So it's like, sure, Next, they move on to another question. When Tay talk, she says, you did say something. I thought I did. Thank you so much. Because y'all are my memory keepers. So next, y'all, they start talking about how a lot of people say Robin and Gizelle be scissoring. Okay. I never talk about it in my reviews. Because sometimes I feel like it's a little bit of a reach. While I do feel like Robin and Gizelle have something going on, I don't know if like they literally have a sexual relationship. It's just she definitely is giving lapdog energy. No shade, but I don't really talk about Robin and Gizelle being like partners on my channel. So Nikki entertains the thought of that. And she says, if y'all were paid, who would you have sex with on this cast? This is after Robin tells us that she has no interest in women. Sure. So anyway, Robin ends up saying, well, I would sleep with you, Nikki. I would sleep with you. That's a cute way to try to play it off. I really think Robin didn't want the streets to take a little blurb of her saying that she would sleep with Gizelle because she knows that people will have a field day with that because they already have a field day off of Ashley sitting on top of Robin, humping her. And y'all, I didn't make that up. If you flash back to their little dungeon party that they had last season, Ashley really did hump Robin. And then if you flash forward to this past season, whenever they were on the trip and G was there, G tells Ashley, you need some peen in your life or something like that. And Ashley runs over and hugs Robin. So I think there's been a lot of situations where people could guess that Robin is into women. Robin really does like to entertain it. But I think Robin just didn't want people to have a field day because you're not going to tell me that Ashley's humping you one time, then Ashley's telling you, oh, I'm going to give Robin a hug in response to somebody telling her that she needed some sexual energy. So anyway, Gizelle then speaks, even though the question wasn't directed to her. It was some air about Gizelle that was very much like she thought she was HBIC. You could tell she thought that her and Nikki were very much on the same page. And if someone would ask a question, she would definitely get the girls in order and tell them to pipe down. When Candiace overspoke, she would often comment to Candiace. She was definitely regulating, like, yes, Nikki, I'm in charge of the girls. I was getting that feeling. Y'all tell me if y'all was getting that feeling. So Gizelle, she speaks. It's not her turn. And she says that if it was money involved, all of the green-eyed bandits would sleep together. It would be me, Robin, and Ashley. We don't want to see that, Gizelle. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see you and your neck and Robin and Ashley sleeping together. I know you probably thought it was cute, but it's not cute. I don't want to talk about 50 plus, 45 plus year old woman having threesomes on a show where I like to watch about women with money do fancy things. I know you probably thought it was cute, but it's not. So then Candiace, like I said, she very much was speaking out of turn. Says, well, I was sleeping with them too. It will be all four of us. We would sleep together. Candiace, they didn't include you for a reason. So you know what I'm going to need you to do? I'm going to need you to get rid of your clown mask. They didn't include you. Stop speaking out of turn. Stop trying to include yourself in this. It's not necessary. You look foolish. Because if Gizelle wanted to include you like she included the green-eyed bandits in their little menage a trois, she would have. But she didn't. Sorry for that noise, y'all. But she didn't. So anyway, I'm like, girl, this is strike one of many. You were doing way too much. Taylor Ann, yes, I agree. So now, y'all, they start talking about Michael and Juan. Nothing new here. She asked Robin, do you think that Michael is attracted to Juan? Robin says yes, she's blushing. And then Nikki says it's weird, though, because Michael said that he would suck Juan's, and you're still allowing them to be friends. So then she flips it and she compares it to if a woman would have said that to Juan. Very good point of view, Nikki. I'm glad that you said that. The entire time Robin was blushing and she said, well, I think that Juan just doesn't want to give it any energy like we're giving it now. And when she said that, I was like, Juan has very much told you what you're allowed to talk about and what you're not allowed to talk about on the show. And that's about Michael trying to suck his peen. So the part that took me out, y'all, was Nikki says to Ashley, does Michael have any other gay male friends? Y'all, I didn't catch it the first time because it was just so, it just rolled off so simply. Does Michael have any other gay male friends? And Ashley caught that. She caught it real quick. She says, no, because Michael's not gay. Michael's not gay. And Nikki says, I'm so sorry. Does he have any gay male friends? And that's when Ashley says no. Y'all, honestly, I don't believe he does. I don't believe that Michael has gay male friends that Ashley knows about. I think that Michael is one of those men who is very sexually adventurous and he probably doesn't want to label himself as gay. So in society, he probably doesn't even center himself around like-minded people. He probably doesn't even center himself around other gay men. I said other. I don't know. But what each person does in their bedroom, to each his own. Y'all do what y'all do. We already know what it is about Michael. I'm tired of talking about this man. So next, y'all, we move on to talking about Gizelle. This part was funny too. Nikki was shady with these damn questions. I swear she was all up and down Twitter. The Barbs gave her some great questions, and she probably saw our videos and found some good questions to ask. So Nikki warms her up. Like I told y'all, she comes with something nice and then blah. She says, yes, you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful. Gizelle doesn't say thank you. Gizelle says, yes, yes. Gizelle says yes. She doesn't say thank you. The audacity. I told y'all she very much had this fake HBIC energy about her. And Nicki Minaj says, has your beauty started to fade? And then they show a side-by-side picture of Gizelle from only 4 years ago to Gizelle now. Obviously, her beauty has started to fade. Beauty fades. This is true. And I don't even remember what Gizelle said in response because I was just laughing my ass off at the fact that they actually called it out. So then they start talking about how Gizelle has feelings. You have to remember that even though you're the person in an argument and you're winning an argument, people don't understand that you're actually hurt underneath. So who has to speak up? Who has to speak up? Candiace. Candiace has to speak up. She says, but she's getting better. She's getting better. Which I find hilarious because Candiace, when Nikki was saying, oftentimes people don't understand that you're the one that's hurt in an argument, I thought about Candiace because Candiace often shows her ass because she is hurt. Why would you speak on Gizelle's turn to justify that for Gizelle, knowing that she has never extended you that same grace? Anytime that Candiace has gotten into an argument with someone, except for Monique, which she found the benefit in antagonizing and villainizing Monique rather than getting so hard the situation. She has never agreed with what Candiace has done, even if Candiace's feelings were hurt. So Candiace, I'm gonna need you to take your clown mask off. Stop speaking out of turn. And that's when Nikki says something again. Thank you. So next, they start talking about Jamal. Why are you giving Jamal a second chance now? Why didn't you give him a second chance before? And she said she felt like her success on the show put her in equal footing with Jamal. And for that reason, like Wendy says, why would you think that this man is worthy? There's something wrong. There's something wrong. If you thought that you were just as successful as Jamal and y'all were on equal footing, you should have found a man other than Jamal. But okay. Sounds to me like he was your boyfriend for hire. Wouldn't even bought no damn pastor on the show talking about he my boyfriend. Girl, after y'all done got divorced and he got all them kids in the church, foolish. But y'all don't want to talk about that though, right? Nah, y'all rather just wear y'all clown mask. So then Karen starts talking about this whole hot box thing. And Karen then says, well, my excuse for the hot box was that I like to fight fire with fire. Karen, I love you. Grand Dame. It was hard for me to say that she was one of my faves after I saw how much she really got along with Gizelle during this reunion. It made me feel like all of this was for play, for theatrics. Karen then says that as far as the hot box comment, she decided that with Gizelle, she has to fight fire with fire. Often we see Candiace fight with fire, but nobody caps for Candiace. Candiace doesn't have the same energy for Karen that she has for Gizelle. Girl, okay. You would see her roll her eyes at Karen and everything else. But for whatever reason, Candiace sees the benefit in being friends with Gizelle and even Ashley, who wrote the statement against her. What is it? What in the politics are going on? I don't understand. I don't. Yes, Naturally Mar. She don't want to be iced out. When I say I don't understand, I understand. She don't want to be iced out. But you got to find a way around it. Something has to give. You look crazy. That's what I'm saying, y'all. I come on here pretty much every week. And majority of the time, I have a way to defend Candiace. Not because I'm reaching, but because sometimes the things that Candiace does make sense. And then you go and you cape for Gizelle. So now, y'all, let's go ahead and talk about Mia. Nikki says that she really enjoyed the scenes with Mia and her mom. And basically, she says that you have to tell your mom how the things that she says or the things that she did impacted you. She's like, you got to hold your mom responsible. And Mia says, well, we're in a better place now. She's watching my kids at my house because she loves me. Are you trying to prove a point? when Mia said that, I was like, why are you talking so strongly? We believe your mama love you. Do you? Okay. The next thing they talk about is Mia says that she thinks that threesomes will often make a marriage better. Good for you, Mia. I have no interest in knowing what type of women you and G are smashing. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to know what your sex life has been like since you've gotten multiple surgeries all over your body, specifically the one on your CLIT. I don't care. Okay. Mia was just there just to be there. Naturally, Mar, you're right. She was trying to prove a point to Skyla because Skyla had that tweet on Twitter talking about everyone doesn't have to work on relationships with their moms. But to me, that was just so sad. Why would you have to prove that your mom loved you to another woman? That's sad. And that wasn't a read. So I was pretty much over Mia. Next, y'all, Nikki asked multiple women. She asked Karen, Ashley, and Mia, if y'all had $100 million in the bank, would you have married the man that you married? Ashley, she says, no, not when I met him because I was only 22 years old and I was a bartender. And then Karen says that, yes, I would have married him because Ray moves my soul. I definitely feel like Karen and Ray have an authentic relationship. I think their relationship is an institution. California Cutie says her mommy abandonment issues come up so often. When she refers to her mother, she talks like a baby when it happens. California, we on the same page. She does. That's when she gets to mommy does this. My mom, my mommy, my. Yeah. I ain't gonna diagnose the girl, but I see it. We see it. So Mia says, hands down, she still would have married him. She says that if she would have had her own $100 million, she still would have been in the club working, entertaining, in the strip club. Mia, you full of it. You full of it. Then they start talking about this whole stripper comment, whether it's a strip club, if they serve chicken wings or not. Instead of answering the question, Mia tries to make it into this women empowerment bullshit because she says that she's making other women feel bad who don't strip in a club where they sell lobsters. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Mia, they should have exited you off that stage left like they did a Skylar after 2 questions. So now, y'all, Wendy. They get to Wendy, y'all. And this part was quite embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. They start talking about Eddie following the booty models. So Screen Rant, they put out an article saying that Eddie was following probably like 600 odd some people on Instagram. He was following a whole bunch of booty models. Then all of a sudden, after the article was posted, he magically went from following 600 something people to only about 450 people after the article was posted. So then they asked Wendy if she went and got her booty done because Eddie liked the booty models. She says no. I believe her. I believe she got her booty done because she wanted to get her booty done. I believe she got all of the cosmetic surgery she got because she's a woman on TV who you have an ideal image of what you think you're supposed to look like. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not about to press Wendy on that only because I feel like while some change needed to be addressed, I felt like there was change in her personality, change in some of the things she was saying. While some change needed to be addressed, I don't like the way that the other women went about questioning her. I feel like the intent of it was extremely ugly. Y'all tell me what y'all think. So I don't think they were wrong for bringing it up, but I think them trying to tie it to this weak ass article, the intent was very nasty and it was ugly. So yes, that's what I was talking about, Kenya. When I say that it was embarrassing, Wendy had this fake laugh when they were talking about Eddie following booty models. And she says, I don't know who he's following. Wendy, you hardly let Eddie finish his sentences on stage. You talk about how much of a man he is and how much he supports your family, but you don't allow him to talk sometimes. You overtalk him, and it's very much like it is what Wendy says goes. So it's hard for me to believe that you didn't know who he was following. I think you probably saw the article and you probably told Eddie to tone it the fuck down. And Eddie probably went in and unfollowed all of those women. I'm sure he did. So yeah, you could tell her face was probably cracked underneath that fake laugh. So now, y'all, we get on to Candiace. They start talking about Dorothy. Nikki says that your mother seems willing to destroy your husband for the entire world to see. How do you feel about that? Y'all know she has to get her folded tissue. She has to start looking up. Like, this is not the first time we talked about this. This is probably the third or fourth time that we have talked about Miss Dorothy. We have talked, your husband was on stage. We talked about Miss Dorothy. Your mama called. Your mama said she was going to apologize to him, and you're crying again. So anyway, she says, well, I did check my mom. I did. I cursed her out. I didn't talk to her for a couple weeks. And Nikki was like, no, but you got to check her. And I have to say, y'all, Candace's mother definitely seems like a narcissist to me. And I don't think checking somebody and not talking to them who's a narcissist for a couple of weeks is going to do anything. So I don't necessarily know that what Nikki was saying is the solution for what Candace is dealing with her mother. For Candace's mom to be an entire psychologist, psychiatrist, or whatever she is, they need professional help. You cussing your mother out about talking bad about your husband is not the end all be all solution. So I don't think that was a solution, Nikki, at all. So Candace says, well, you know, she won't hear it from me, but maybe she'll hear it from you, Nikki. She won't. She won't hear from anybody, Candace, because your mom, to me, seems a little bit like a narcissist. She does. I said a little bit to be nice. A whole lot. She seems a whole lot like a narcissist. So yeah, I have to say, yes, Ramel says my mama wasn't perfect, but she wasn't like hers. You're right. Her mama's not right. It's something deeper than what we know. It is. They need therapy. It is literally nothing about her checking her mom. It is deeper than that. So she says it's not that easy. And I was like, yep, it's literally not that easy. Because I swear to you, Candace has tried everything in the book. And I swear to you, Miss Dorothy is the reason why Candace turns up at the drop of a dime and shows her complete ass. Candace has so much repressed anger that somebody saying her video is low budget causes her to blow up. She has repressed anger. Oh, thank you, Tia. She says your skin is glowing, girl. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, she got to figure that out. Next, they start talking about the success of her album or her song. And they said, ladies, if you had to rate her album, how would you rate it? Mia says, -2. Or not the album. How would you rate the success of how you thought the album was going to be? Not how good it was. They wanted to know, how well did you think it was going to do? 1 out of 10. 10 means platinum. Mia says -2. Karen says, oh, I'm giving her a 9 for effort. But they're like, no, that's not what we mean. 9 means that it would have almost went platinum. What did you think it was going to do? And Karen says, well, I would have gave her at least a 5. So then that's when Nikki starts asking her questions about, dang, did I even finish all my notes? Y'all tell me what I missed, okay, once we get to the end of this. But anyway, that's whenever Nikki starts coming with these questions. And when I say these questions I'm talking about this is why Chris is mad. Look at this tweet, y'all. So somebody said something about Chris because Chris was upset at the way that Nicki was asking his wife questions. Nicki Minaj hopped on Twitter and she says, Candee girl husband really need to sit his ass down, child, laughing my ass off. Chris Bassett then says, I don't need to do nothing but support my wife. And the reason why he was upset is because Nicki Minaj starts firing questions at Candiace. How did your album do? Candiace says, let me go 200,000, 20K and 500,000. And Mia's like, oh, you don't know how it did? You don't know how your album did? You don't have these numbers memorized? And Mia was very much giving pick me energy. You're a hater. Shut up. Shut up. Mia is a hater. She was giving pick me when Andy was on the stage. She was giving pick me when Nicki Minaj was on the stage. And this part was ugly. So she's searching through her phone. She's like, the numbers just came out today and she's trying to figure it out. I don't understand why everybody was so upset with her for not memorizing these numbers. It didn't go number one. And then on top of that, I'm sure Candiace was also nervous to report incorrect numbers just for y'all to play her later on. So she looks up her numbers and she says she was number 24 on Billboard and number 4 on iTunes. Once she reports that to Nicki says, oh, okay. Nicki doesn't then tell us if that's good or bad. Nicki just says, oh, okay. That was shady. I ain't gonna lie. I wish she would have, even if it was bad, I wish Nicki would have been like, nah, that ain't it. Rather than leaving everyone in confusion. You know, Candiace was nervous. Nobody gave her any confirmation as to what those numbers really meant. She thought she did good, so that's all that mattered, right? So then Nicki goes with a next question. She says, how many sales? How many album sales? And Candiace says it had 500,000 streams. Nicki says, but how many album sales? And she says, I think it was 20,000. Awkward silence as she's searching for the numbers. Nicki was being very odd. And it was kind of uncomfortable for me. I don't understand why she did that. Being that you are a musician, you know the relevancy of these numbers. I don't. Majority of the viewers don't. The girls don't. Number 24 on Billboard sounds fine to me, but due to your expertise, Nicki, explain to us what that means. That part was very weird to me. I felt like Nicki did this nice, nasty thing the whole time, where majority of the time if she was nasty, she usually cleaned it up with the niceness, but she didn't do that with Candiace. So then she says, okay, so Candiace, if you were trying to sell yourself to a record label, which I do have a record label, what do you think that your selling point would be? And this is where Candiace says, well, honestly, I would say my vocal ability first. Nicki says, vocal ability? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I said vocal ability. I said the same thing. Candiace can sing, but she ain't no singer. So for her to say vocal ability, I'm like, oh, they definitely set you up to play yourself, because in a situation to where Candiace would have said anything different, if she would have said, oh, I'm a housewife, people would have been like, I don't take you seriously. For her to say, oh, I'm a dancer, people would have been like, no, you're not. So I'm just like, they set you up to play yourself. So I ain't gonna go too hard on you when you say it's your vocal ability. Nicki Minaj, again, doesn't really respond. She just says vocal ability and kind of leaves it at that. The air is tense. It's like, what do you mean? Say what you mean, Nicki. You've been saying it this whole time. So then she says, oh, go ahead and sing your song for me. And this is where Candiace is like shaking in her boots. She's scared. And Nicki's like, well, you use auto-tune in quite a few songs. And Candiace says, yes, I use auto-tune for the artistic nature of it, right? So then she's like, I'll sing a gospel song. And that's whenever all the girls start turning on her. And this is when Candiace is shaking in her boots with her motherfucking clown mask, because you sat there the whole time and defended all the girls in the fire of Nicki. You did. You jumped in front of the bullet multiple times. You commented multiple times. But whenever Nicki was like, sing, everybody was like, sing, you're a singer. Mia says, sing, you're a singer. Candiace says, oh, I'm going to sing gospel. And Gizelle looks at her and says, no, sing your shit. You should sing your shit. So I'm like, dang, Candiace, you really played yourself. Here's where I would typically feel bad for you, but you've been wearing a clown mask this whole time, so I can't even stand for you and be like, yeah, they did you dead ass wrong. I would say that. But you played yourself. So anyway, she says, okay, can I get a snap? They start snapping. And she sings Drive Back. And I think she did great. I think she took the smart road. She sung at a very much middle ground. She didn't try to go too high, too low. She wasn't trying to reach a range that was out of sitting. She did good. And everybody starts applauding for her. And then Chris comes out once they go to break. Chris comes out and he's upset. Candiace is like, what are you upset for? And Gizelle is like, why are you upset? Why? Why are you so mad? I think Chris, as a husband, had every right to feel some type of way. And Candiace automatically went back to putting her damn clown mask on. She allowed the women to make it seem like Chris was mad for no reason. Andy's like, but she did a great job. She sung so well. You should be proud of her. Yes, you should be proud of her. But in the same moment, Chris didn't want you to play yourself. Yes, Kenya, I didn't understand her wanting to sing gospel when she has an entire album. I would have been pissed if she hit us with some Amazing Grace. We didn't heard it enough. Y'all done Amazing Graced us to death, okay? So anyway, I feel like the girls really tried to play her. After Gizelle did that, Mia did that, Robin did that, sing. They wanted her to embarrass herself and she didn't. So I think Chris had every right to feel the way that he wanted to as a husband, and that's just that on that. Chantel, she says that Chris always wants a moment. He could have waited until they got home. He did the same thing at the video shoot. Yeah, I don't think that Chris wanted a moment. I think that Chris was actually upset. But I think that what Candiace wanted was not a moment. I don't think Candiace wanted things to elevate with Nicki Minaj. She was afraid. She was afraid of the Barbs. And she really didn't want Chris to voice how he felt. He definitely could have waited till they was in the car. But in the same breath, I don't really disagree with him. The questions were shady. And they were like, but he did that to everybody. So I'm just like, Princess, thank you for the super chat number 1. But I just read this first sentence and I was like, yes. She says, no shade, no tea, but Nicki can't talk about vocals or auto-tune when sister can't even sing like that. Great rapper, but singer? No, ma'am. I agree. She can't sing. She can't sing. She can't sing. Period. Pooh says, you can tell Candiace was really nervous in front of Nicki, and that's why she hesitated when wanting to sing. She did. She was super nervous. And I think she did well by, singing the way she did, even with the pressure from everybody. So, y'all, that's just how I felt about this reunion. I think Nicki did a pretty good job. She was messy. The Barbs are definitely going to eat Chris Bassett's ass up on Twitter if they're not doing it now. I need to check on Twitter. Actually, let me check on Twitter and see if that's what they're doing, because I honestly would not be surprised, like, at all. And I think Candiace knew. Candiace did not want that smoke, which is why she was like, oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Chris, it would have been an easier target for you to get mad at the girls on the cast who didn't really support her like that. You could tell they were looking for a moment to all out embarrass her. Yes, Shaneka. She says Candiace knew they all wanted her to fail, especially Gizelle. She did, but you still continue to F with them. I'm not understanding, Candiace. I need you to wake up. I feel like your only chance of really being authentic on this show has gone out the window. I feel like you could have done that when you were cool with Karen, but because you allowed your I hate to say it, because you allow your hissy fits to get in the way of you and Karen's friendship, you no longer have a grand dame to stand behind. So you're standing behind the fake grand dame, which is Gizelle. So that's why you do a lot of things that are contradictory to what is right. The arguments that you have, they're often not supporting you, and you have to wear your clown mask the whole time. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking down because I'm trying to find Chris Bassett's Twitter because I want to see if the Beehive has already took over. I really want to see. I don't know if I can even find the tweet. I had it earlier and now I can't find it. I cannot find it, y'all. It is what it is. I can't find it. If I do see some more stuff on about them talking about Chris, I'll post it on my Instagram story. But yeah, y'all, that's all I have for Real Housewives of Potomac. Princess says I would have shaded the fuck out of Nikki, but that's just me. Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people don't want they smoke with the beehive, y'all. They really don't. But y'all, that's all I had. Oh, and Shaneka. I said your name wrong. I said Shamika. My bad. Shaneka. I hate whenever people say my name wrong, so I owe you that. But Black Tornado, this is a good comment. I don't want to log off without addressing this. Black Tornado says she should have made a more solid alliance with Wendy. I feel like she has an alliance with Wendy, but she's not confident in Wendy's footing on this show. She's been on the show longer than Wendy. If Wendy actually had a more solid stance in this show, if Wendy was more respected when it came to the other women, I said Barbs, yeah. If Wendy was more respected, then she would feel more confident by doing what's right majority of the time. But she often doesn't act like that. She does whatever Green Eye Bandits are doing. So yeah, safe to say I was thoroughly annoyed with Candiace this episode, pretty much this entire reunion. It's like I understand where she comes from, but then once it gets down to the group setting, she don't want to stand on what's right. She be shaking her MF and boots, and she just goes with the politics of it all. I don't really like that. But it just is what it is, y'all. I hope y'all really enjoyed this review, y'all. Today I posted 3 videos in one day, y'all. I reviewed Ready to Love. I reviewed Love and Marriage Huntsville, the finale. Also reviewed Portia's show. So if y'all haven't checked that video out, y'all be sure to check out my review for Portia's show. For those of you who are watching this on playback, I'm going to try to link it right here or right here so you can go ahead and hop to that video. So I hope y'all check out all my reviews today. And until then, I will see y'all in the next video.